Welcome and happy 61st birthday, Interact. So to celebrate World Interact Week, I'm excited to host a conversation with interactors from around the world who make up Rotary's Youth Advisory Council. In today's chat, we hope you learn more about Interact, the Youth Advisory Council, and the power of youth voice and youth belonging within Rotary. Let's jump in and see who is here with us today. So please share where you're joining from by adding to the chat in the comments. And now let me introduce to you my fellow panelists and I, who are part of the Rotary's Youth Advisory Council. I'll go first. So my name is Alberto Domenighini. I am from Italy. I'm a proud dual member, meaning that I am both a Rotaractor and a Rotarian. Unfortunately, I'm not a former interactor, but I'm lucky because I'm able to work alongside great interactors and Interact alumni, among which my fellow Rotary International Youth Advisory Council co-chair, Taylor, to which I'll pass it over.
Hello, everybody, or I should say, g'day, I'm Taylor. I'm an Interact and Rotary Youth Exchange alumni from District 9640 in Australia. And my favourite part about Interact is the international family of changemakers I've made along the way, including everyone on your screen today. So I'll pass over to Sophie to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Sophie and I'm an Interact alum from the United States and specifically from District 5320 in Orange County, California. My favorite part about Interact was being a part of a community of young people who are driven to change their communities and the world for the better. And I'll pass it on finally to Solomon.
Thanks, Sophie. Kia ora, I'm Solomon and I became involved with Rotary after I attended a youth science camp. I'm an Interact alumni from New Plymouth, New Zealand. I'm now a university student in Christchurch, still serving the community and taking part in the council that is giving this panel today.
Thank you so much, guys. And let me also acknowledge members who unfortunately were unable to attend this session. So I want to acknowledge Joel from Uganda, Alejandra from the Honduras, Shirby from the United States, Luisa from Brazil, Maya from Canada, Ange from India, Leonard from the Philippines, and our amazing director, Enrique Vasconcelos from Brazil. All right, so now let's jump into our discussion. So first and foremost, I'd love to start by talking about Interact's impact. So can a couple of you share what has been the biggest takeaway from your personal journey as an interactor? In other words, how has it shaped the person that you are today? Who wants to start?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Sophie.
So I've been an interactor for almost half my life. So this organization has really shaped my perspective of the world and my role in it as well. Probably the biggest takeaway has been that impacting a person, a local community, or the world is possible. And when we collaborate, young people are capable of enacting real change. When I was younger, and still sometimes now, I felt really frustrated and isolated because I saw problems in the world around me and really wanted to do something about them, but I didn't share my concerns with other people, so I felt like no one my age saw the same problems that I did. But I really could not have been more wrong. From volunteering with groups of local students to now being a member of the Youth Advisory Council, I've been astonished, like again and again, how many young people around the world have committed themselves to the motto of service above self. We as young people are really not alone in our desire to make change, but to find other people who see the same issues that we do, we have to raise our voices and empower other people to do the same as well.
Yes, definitely, Sophie. Thank you so much for sharing that. And anyone else has something?
Yeah, I'll jump in as well. I mean, I couldn't agree more with Sophie, but for me, it's all in the name, Interact. I joined Interact at the age of 12, and since then, I've had the opportunity to interact with my peers, communities, and other people like all around the world doing their part to create hope in the world, working alongside others to demonstrate our motto, service above self. It's not every day a group of high school students have the opportunity to plan and execute fundraisers and events for causes that they are so passionate about. Interact has taught me how to plan and facilitate events, boosted my ability to network and public speak, but most importantly, Interact has taught me the importance of connection. people power, and the power of youth. Interactors are some of the biggest change makers I know. I've seen interactors change lives of people in their local community and abroad time and time again. From Paraguay to Germany and back here in Australia, thousands of interactors continue to make a positive change in the world. So thank you to all of you that are on here today for being part of my international Interact family. And I hope you are as proud as I am to be in the Interact alumni. Well, be an Interact alumni. I encourage all of you to continue making a positive difference in the world. And I'll throw it back to you, Alberto.
Thank you, Taylor. And actually, thank you also for mentioning President Gordon's team. So create hope in the world, and really, let's do it together. So interactors, Rotarians, and Rotary alumni. So as members of the Youth Advisory Council, can you explain what the council actually is and what it does? Who wants to answer that one?
I'll go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Solomon.
The Rotary Youth Advisory Council is a group of former Interact, Youth Exchange, and RYLA, Rotary Youth Exchange students from around the world who are keen, Rotary Youth Leadership Award, that's RYLA, from around the world who are keen to give recommendations on how these programs are run in the future. We meet every few months to discuss many things. In our most recent meeting, for example, we made a SWOT analysis of our experiences, some orientations to the council, getting familiar with what we could do in our role, and we split into groups to discuss our future vision for the Rotary youth groups we were involved in, like Interact here today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your explanation, Solomon. And actually, I just want to underline our role within the council in trying to figure out how to best shape what is after the participation in one of the Rotary Youth programs. So not just Interact, but also RYLA and Youth Exchange, as you were mentioning. So our experience within Rotary must not end with the participation in the program itself. So we cannot be just alumni of Rotary when the program is over. So we must fall in love with Rotary and its values while we are in the program. And then we have to commit to Rotary for many more years. So Rotary has so much more to give us, and at the same time, we have so much more to give back to Rotary. So the existence of the Rotary International Youth Advisory Council is a great example of youth voice in action. So youth voice is the inclusion of the ideas, thoughts, and actions of young people. Effectively amplifying youth voice requires the recognition that young people must have a key role in the decision-making process for those things that affect and shape their lives. So what is the importance of youth voice in Rotary?
I can go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Sophie. Thank you.
Perfect. So I think youth voice is crucial in Rotary for probably like two main reasons. First, we as youth are the people who will tackle the issues of the present and the future. And second, we are filled with a lively energy and vigor and fresh perspective to tackle the most difficult challenges we face in the world. So we can't be told to wait because there's no time to press pause on issues like climate change or social justice. And there's also no benefit in stalling our ideas. We need to be equipped as problem solvers right now. But admittedly, young people are not perfect at everything either because we don't have the connections or experience that come with time. So this is why Rotary is so powerful as a multi-generational family. Youth voice should not be isolated as an echo chamber within Rotary, but instead should be integrated into every part of Rotary, merging both the benefits of experience and fresh ideas to increase our impact.
Yes, Sophie, I agree really 100%. And actually, Taylor, I know that you have something else to add on there, right?
Of course I do. For me, it's as simple as Sophie said, that youth are the future. Without youth voice in Rotary, we are limiting our future possibilities. The youth of today are our future world leaders. So why should we wait to hear what they have to say when so many youth already have ideas for topics that they are already so passionate about? Rotary has an incredible opportunity that not many other organizations have. We are a multi-generational family. This means we have the opportunity to share ideas and work on projects with interactors, Rotaractors, and Rotarians. This means that we can ensure the voice of both the young and the young at heart are heard. We have the opportunity to learn and upskill from each other and no two ideas are the same. By incorporating youth voice, youth are given a seat at the table. When the door is opened for youth, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, so Taylor, how has youth voice in Rotary influenced your life in a lasting change then?
Yeah, for me,
Definitely.
I can honestly say I wouldn't be who I am today without Rotary, and I definitely wouldn't be where I am without Youth Voice. I can recall the first day that I first joined Interact, and I was told I could choose a fundraiser that was important to me, and my Interact Club would support me on my mission. Not only did my Interact Club support each individual on their passions, but my local Rotary Club took notice of the topics that we felt were important to our community. And together we could create action and make double the impact. I was inspired by the way that Youth Voice was heard at a local level, so I decided to expand my Rotary journey. And since then, I've chartered a Rotex Club, which works alongside the Youth Exchange program here in my district to ensure that rebound experiences are heard to enhance the experience of future Youth Exchange students. And then most recently, I've had the opportunity to serve with all the other panelists here today on the Rotary International Youth Advisory Council to ensure that the youth of voice is present at the international level. This has been an incredibly eye-opening opportunity. And to any youth program listening today, I encourage you all to apply for the next year's program.
Yeah, I had actually, as you, Taylor, Rotary is part of my life as well. So I can't really imagine how my life would be without Rotary. And by sharing my voice, I really want to think that I've made an impact in my community, that I've been part of the process that created that impact. To all of you that are with us today, especially to the youngest, I want to give you a bigger brother advice. So I really encourage you to always be passionate about what you do and fight for what you think is the best to do. You will not be heard and listened all the times, especially at first, but without perseverance and passion, it is impossible to change the world. So having said that, I think we can move to our next question, which is, how has your experience within the council elevated your personal journey, both within the Rotary world and beyond? Who wants to answer?
I'll go ahead for this one.
Go ahead.
In the Youth Advisory Council, it became clear just how many opportunities Rotary is offering to youth. And it showed me more that Rotary has potential to be very relevant in the future, even when the average age of a Rotarian in the world is 58, and much higher in Australia and the UK. But the council also has given me the opportunity to get experience with such a geographically wide group of people, with such a large scope for a massive organization. And I've honestly really enjoyed hearing many of the personal journeys many of the other people in the council have had, like my fellow panelists today.
Yeah, thank you, Solomon. Actually, I want to answer to this question as well. So if I had to tell you what Rotary actually is to me with just one word, that would be for sure like growth. I discovered Rotary thanks to the Youth Exchange program, and through this program, I had the opportunity to grow so quickly. Actually, my entire Rotary journey has brought me to a continuous growth cycle. The Youth Advisory Council is definitely part of this process. By connecting with fellow council members from all over the world, I continue to learn something new every time we meet. And this actually reminds me every time that we are one big global family, which must be free of hate, and fulfilled with mutual understanding. Rotary and the Youth Advisory Council taught me never to lose the hope to imagine a better world. We're now getting close to the end of our discussion, so my final question is, what can Rotary members do to amplify your voice and celebrate young leaders as partners in addressing the challenges of today's world? Who wants to answer to this?
I can go ahead.
Go ahead, Sophie. Thank you.
So I think that there's a really important distinction to draw between including youth in service and amplifying youth voice. Amplifying youth voice takes a lot more deliberate action than just inviting young people to join Rotary volunteer projects. If you really want to amplify youth voice, ask the youth in your Rotary family what issues they're interested in, and then push the conversation even further. Ask them what draws them to that particular issue, maybe what they know about the current solutions, and why these current solutions aren't working. Ask them if you could do anything to tackle this issue and money, time, skill, experience, etc. were not an issue, what would you do? And then help them take that first step towards that goal. One of the benefits of Rotary is it's like infinitely extending web of connections. So ask your fellow club or district members what organizations they're aware of that tackle that particular issue, and then share that information with the young people who you were talking to. What we really crave most as young change makers is to make a tangible impact on the issues we're interested in. But sometimes we don't really have the connections to even get started. So you are our starting guide to amplify our voices and our ideas as well.
Yes, thank
I'll
you,
just
Sophie.
jump in.
Yeah,
I'll
go
just
ahead.
quickly jump in as well. I think that a big part of this is getting young people involved in some of the bigger leadership projects, not just internationally, but also in their own district, and perhaps even the club leadership, even the leadership of community organizations and community projects. And so young people can feel like they are significant in Rotary and perhaps even more in their lives.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, guys. Actually, if anyone from the audience is interested in getting to know more about Youth Voice, I really encourage you to check out the Expanding Reach partner with Youth in Service webinar, where other fellow Youth and Interact Advisory Council members and I discussed how to engage youth and develop participation, and explored how Rotarians can increase youth voice in their projects and increase their impact by collaborating in effective adult-youth partnerships. Well, this is all, folks. Thank you all for joining us. We hope you enjoy the rest of World Interact Week. And to continue the celebrations, we encourage all Interact clubs to submit a video, a photo, or an essay to the annual Interact Awards by the 3rd of December. You can find more details at rotary.org/Interact Awards. And to close out our chat, let us share some birthday wishes for Interact. So everyone, please join us in the chat by saying happy birthday Interact in your native language. So I go first. So in Italian it will be buon compleanno Interact. Thank you so much.